Welcome back to Realistic Fishing. You know what time of year it is? Lawn mowers. Anyway, let's get down here to the water and see if we can catch a bass on a Texas rig worm. People have been asking about them. This is the time of year. Lawnmowers. I love having lawnmower noise in the background of my videos. Well, it's that post-spawn time. It's really hard to find bass right now. So we're going to use a tried and true method, Texas rig worm. Here's the worm I'm going to use today. I buy this worm locally from a guy. It's made of hand-poured floating soft plastic, so the tail will float up while the weight is sitting on the bottom. Let me get this Texas rigged real quick. That's it right there. But I'm not going to leave it at that. I want all the confidence I can get. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a boost with some Pro-Cure super sticky gel. Let's get some of this worked on. Super sticky is right. Whether this helps or not, I have no idea. But, you know, it gives me a little bit of extra confidence thinking that it might. Sometimes that makes all the difference. Once again, I'm fishing that 13 Origin A on a 7-foot medium heavy. Gonna fish the dock, maybe some shallow weeds. Of course, I'm gonna hit this point. Let's see if I can get a bass. Something splashed out that way. Fish on, right away. Wow. There we go. Good looking bass right off the bat. First cast. Sometimes that's good luck, sometimes it's not. There we go. Lawnmower noise and everything. I'm glad I found one. Sweet, first cast bass. Whoa, almost dropped him there. Good looking fish. Let's let him go. Man, first cast, how about that? There we go. Get my worm straightened up here. See how it kind of pulled through? So if you're careful with it, you can pull it back through and reuse the worm, you know. Top's a little torn up right here, so I'm going to redo it on the top. These are pretty soft worms, these homemade worms, but they work good. Do you see that first cast? There we go. Let's see if we can get another fish before I need to put on a new worm. And let's put on a little more Pro-Cure. Did it help? Maybe. Maybe not. But it gave me that extra confidence, and I just happened to catch one. Let's try again. I doubt there's another fish by the dock, but there might be. So I'm not sure if you can see it down there, but there's my worm. And When it sits in the water, it sits with the tail up, but curled over just a little bit like this. All right, let's try it right down here off the boat launch. Unless these guys are coming in, which they might be. We'll get out of their way if that's the case. Let's put a little more Pro-Cure gel on here. I'm sure it's washed off by now. Is it really helping? I don't know. Is it helping me feel like I'm going to catch more? Yes. All right, well, I got one bass over here at the first spot, way down that way by the dock. Let's go try somewhere else. Well, there's a lot going on over here. I got a guy in a camper and a dog and a truck. Got a boat coming out of the water over there. So, the first cast curse got me today. I only caught that one fish on the very first cast. Let's go back to the studio. Well, today I was victim of the first cast curse. People say if you catch a fish on your first cast, you're not going to catch another one the whole trip. And today, it was true. So what I'm going to do instead is go over some deals I found while I was out of town. If you didn't see my recent fishing in Alabama video series about catching bullheads, huge buffalo, and fishing behind the Dauphin Island Motel, you might want to go check them out. It was pretty cool. Anyway, when I was down there in Alabama, I hit a few stores. Let's check out the deals I found. First deal right here cost me $7 at an antique store in Fairhope, Alabama. Alright, what I have here is a variety of small Rapala jerkbaits. The exact model is Floating Fire Tiger. All it says is floating. Rapala Original Floating. Let's see if I can get this open. Check out the condition. The package is a little worn out, but this looks almost perfect. Nice and shiny. The hooks are not rusted. I think these may have gotten wet on the outside, but luckily not on the inside. So there we go. Original Fire Tiger Floating Rapala. This one's a bit rustier. Here's another Rapala. It's a little bit shorter than that first one. Does it say what size? I'm not sure what size this one is, but it's about a ½ inch smaller than that first one. But you can see, or I can see, a little bit of rust on these hooks. The body looks great. The lip looks good. Almost hooked me. But the hooks are starting to rust. Still, glad to have it. You can always just replace the hooks. Let's check out the next one I got. This one's a little bit longer, just like that first one. These hooks appear to be in pretty good shape. Not as clean as the first box, but a lot better than that second one, that's for sure. This is also a Rapala Floating. I'm not sure what year these are. Maybe someone can tell by the packaging they're in. So this is a 7 centimeter floating, 1/8 ounce. Pretty cool. The next one, 1/16 ounce. I can't see anything else about it because it's all rubbed off. This one's a little bit rusty. The hooks are rusty. Another good looking bait though. I really like these older Rapalas. I would say these are probably from the 80s or 90s. They don't look like they've been used very much, but unfortunately it looks like some of them got wet. This one's been used. It actually has fishing line attached, so that's good to see. I'm glad they didn't just sit there sealed and not get used at all. This one's a little bit longer. Does it have the dimensions? No. It's probably a 3-inch. It's a little heavier. I'm not sure if this is a sinking. It says sinking, right? Rapala countdown. So this orange one is a countdown. Feels a little bit heavier too. Hooks are starting to rust though. And finally, rusty hooks. This hook is even broken, so these hooks and rings need to be replaced. Also has a little fishing line on it, but again, I could just replace the hooks. This was also a floating Rapala, so I got all 6 of these Rapalas in fair condition. Some of them are good, for $7. I thought that was a pretty good deal, and I was happy to find them at an antique store. I pretty much look for fishing lures everywhere I go. If I'm on vacation and I see a store that sells lures, I'm gonna stop. So I also stopped at Academy and Walmart, and I didn't find a ton of deals, but I found a couple. Let's check them out. Alright, here's the receipt for Academy. All I got was a couple of packs of Jean LaRue 3.75-inch punch-out craw. This Jean LaRue brand isn't very popular up here where I live, but I saw it when I was down there, so I thought I'd pick it up. I'm guessing there aren't a ton of people up here throwing this thing. So, all the claws and stuff are connected. I guess you could fish it like this, like a big flapping tail. But I think you're supposed to separate them. That's why it's called the punch-out craw. So now that it's punched out, it has 2 claws and this center tail fin thing right here. I'm curious how this would look underwater. Pretty neat looking craw here. I picked up 2 packs because they were 98 cents each. Right there, 98 cents. And guess what? That's all I bought, and I walked out of there. I was looking for deals. I found these. Good enough for me. Alright, so from Walmart, I got these Arky jerky heads for finesse worm fishing. I don't think I've ever used this one before. Let's see what it looks like. Alright, so it's a jig head with a worm holder right here. So you thread your worm on. Let's see if I can find a worm right here. Looks like you thread your worm on like a Texas rig, and then you push it up over the keeper. Right? So now it looks like this. Then you bury the hook inside. There we go. That's how you would fish it. And this particular worm is a floating worm, so it would probably work even better. It would be like this. Doop, doop, doop. Right? Pretty good. They look like interesting jig heads here. $1 a piece. The last item I got, we got a Silver Stream fly assortment. Sorry, they covered up, they put the sticker over the name of the item. So we got 10 flies in here. Cortland Silver Stream. 10 flies, $1. I actually picked up 2 of them. So that's 10 cents per fly. You know, I like fishing with flies sometimes. Floating fly. Maybe I'll even try some fly fishing one day. Anyway, $1 a piece. How could I not? So basically for $6 I got 2 packs of craws, 2 packs of shaky heads, which I can maybe even use with these craws, and 2 packs of flies, all for $6. Thanks for watching Realistic Fishing. Keep it realistic.